that. I used to literally watch Degrassi every day, before school and after school, eat my cereal and watch Degrassi. And I liked this character. And then my brother hit me up. The first song I heard from Drake was Successful.
Wow.
And then when I heard it, I'm like, oh, all right. The dude from Degrassi, he's wigging like this. And then he put out more music. I'm like, oh, I might be a fan now.
So you caught on right away. You caught on at the right time.
Yeah, I caught on. I'm like, man, and I think about that every time when people look at me as just a YouTube rapper or whatever. It's like, if he can do it and be at the top for 10 years, who says I can't?
What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record, and I'm your host, Rob Markman. Now, today's guest, I ain't gonna lie, he's been here a couple times to do our Verified series. Got a chance to meet and talk with his brother behind the scenes, but I've been very interested to really hear his full story, okay? He started out on YouTube first doing skits, then vlogs, then a couple diss records, some that you might have heard towards your favorite rapper, and then it really turned into full-blown music, and now he has a deal with Epic Records. His new single, Run It Up, features Herbo, Nahmir, and Blac Youngsta. I want to make sure I ain't forget anybody. But he's here today with us. DDG, man, welcome to For the Record.
Man, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good.
Let me start off by saying I love Genius, man.
Nah, man.
I really rock with y'all, bro.
Thank you, man. We love you too, man. Like, I feel like you've done what, like 3 verifieds?
Yeah, man.
Already?
You know? And I never told you this, but I used to make like parodies of y'all.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to be on Genius, so it's just dope just to be in this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be seeing the parodies people be
That's
making.
crazy. Absolutely. Yeah, Rice gonna be all over it.
Yeah,
It'd be a lot of them. Yeah, no, look, man, that means something because, you know, Genius has been around since 2009 as a lyrics site. We just recently, in the recent years, started making videos and content.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could speak firsthand. The content team here works really hard. Originally, it was kind of hard to get artists to come and imagine themselves in our videos because we weren't known for making videos.
Yeah.
But to see a new generation of artists like yourself, when you come here to do Verify with us or whatever, and like, man, I've been waiting to do this.
Yeah.
That makes us feel like, man, we built a platform that really means something, man. So we're super proud of that. So thank you for that.
No problem, bro.
Nah, man, but thank you for coming. But I've been looking forward to sitting down with you for a long time. You know, Verify is a little different. It's like, you know, we might still do the interview or one of the other guys might still do the interview, but you're not on camera. It's not, you know what I'm saying, like a one-to-one, and I really wanted to get to know your story. So that's cool?
Yeah. I'm with all that.
Awesome, man. So from Pontiac, Michigan, right?
Yeah, Pontiac, Michigan.
Okay, and you started on YouTube back in high school, right? You were just doing skits. Like explain to me, like, what prompted this?
I mean, I was really just having fun. You know, I had friends. We was like in this little college program or whatever, but in high school, just prepping us for college. And then I got me a little camera or whatever, and I was just making little skits or whatever, and all my friends liked it. So I kept making it. And then it really just turned into something else. You know, so it was kind of on accident. I didn't expect to blow up on YouTube. I didn't expect all that. But once I got into it, I knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying?
Then by the time you get to college, I mean, it's becoming profitable. Like, you're making money. Like, you're busting out checks, right?
Yeah, so what had first happened, I was working at TJ Maxx at the time, right?
Okay. And
I was waiting, and I got like a $200 check. And you only get paid once a month on YouTube, so I got like a $200 check. And right when I got that $200, I quit my job.
You just left TJ Maxx?
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm literally making, I'm chilling at the crib, recording myself, and I'm getting paid for it. Say less. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the last time. That was the last job.
That was the last time I ever worked for anybody.
Right.
Ever. You know what I'm saying? I worked at Kroger, pushing carts through the snow, bagging groceries and stuff. Then I went to TJ Maxx. I ain't worked for nobody since.
What was it? Because, you know, with your vlogs, you really show all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
And people become really invested, like in your relationships. Like,
man.
What was it that you think attracted people to you? You know what I'm saying? But as a personality, before we even start talking about the music.
I feel like I'm goofy. You know, I'm chill, I'm humble. And you can tell that through my vlogs. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to know I am like that on and off camera. It might take me a little time to warm up to you. But for the most part, like, I don't care what nobody think. I do what I want to do, and I'm just real, you know? And I feel like that gravitates towards people, and they get addicted to watching me because it's like, it's never a dull moment, you know? I make sure I'm gonna entertain you regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, so, and you're shooting and you're editing your own stuff. Like, you're really
Yeah.
in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I don't like waiting on people, man. I didn't had editors and stuff. One thing about me, I like my hands on everything. Even when I'm in the studio, I want to see what you cutting. I want to see how you put that auto-tune on there. I want to see how you drag that beat, what you doing. Like, when I was getting my stuff mixed, because I got like a whole, well, we talk about that later. I got a whole project ready and stuff. But when I was going, you know, usually artists get their stuff mixed and then sent over and then they hear it. I'm there. Like, I pull up to the mixer. I want to see what you doing.
You want to be in the
You know what I'm saying? I got my hands on everything.
At what point does music come into play? At what point do you shift from personality? Because if we're going to be real, listen, a lot of people on YouTube, music has become an industry of cool. So if there's a lot of platforms. If you're cool on one platform, a lot of it is like, yo, let's transition into music. Look, I'm guilty of it myself. I do music as well as interviews, you know what I'm saying? So this is not me even condemning anybody. But you see a lot of people ain't serious about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But how does it go from you from being on YouTube and being like, yo, I want to try this music thing?
I mean, I always had a passion for music. I always felt like, you know, I could do music if I wanted to. And it was always this. It was like, okay, at some point I wanted to be an actor, right? Which is like doing YouTube is kind of, you know, playing around with that.
Yeah, it's like a breeding ground for that, right?
Yeah. But I tried it out and I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't think I want.
You tried acting out. What was it, go on auditions and stuff like that? Or?
Nah, I did like this little independent movie, but I didn't like it because somebody was telling me what to do. You know, like the director saying, oh, you gonna come on this time, you gonna get off on that. I don't like that. So I threw that dream away. And then it was either acting or music, really, as a traditional profession. You know what I mean? So I always had a passion for music and doing YouTube and getting this big following. And then I'm dropping these little diss tracks here and there and seeing me catching 5, 10 million views. I'm like, okay, I'm not trash. Obviously, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it's a diss track or not, you got millions of other people doing the same thing. And I'm really doing these diss tracks just for entertainment, getting the clout up, you know what I'm saying? Getting the views up and stuff, and my fans wanted to see it. So, and then I do like little freestyles and they get like millions of views. I'm like, okay, I got a talent. I gotta have a talent because this is not, I'm not just getting these millions of views for no reason. It's something going on.
Because everybody rap.
Everybody raps, but not everybody can sound good.
Right.
Not everybody got the tone, not everybody got the mindset. You know what I mean? Not everybody can come up with those words and create a full body of art. And I'm able to do that. You know what I mean? So I went from doing YouTube and doing these diss tracks to seeing these views, and then YouTube had that little crash in the ads, right?
In like 2017.
Yeah, and I'm on YouTube, I'm making 5 figures, 6 figures a month. I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I look at my analytics, I'm like, oh, money drop. What's going on? You know, like this ain't safe, you know? And if it's not safe, you gotta get out before it get too bad.
Right.
So I'm like, let me focus on my other passion, or let me focus on my real passion, you know? Because YouTube is really, I do YouTube for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? At this point in my career on YouTube, I do it for my fans. You know, I don't need the money that I make from YouTube. Right. I make a lot of money on music nowadays. So I really do it for them. But that was the time where I was like, okay, let me focus on my real passion, because I got so caught up in making all this money. I got so caught up in getting all these views and followers over here on YouTube, where I'm forgetting that my calling is music.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that pushed me. And once I figured that out, I had to legitimize myself.
When did it become serious? Because you talk about the diss records. I'm gonna be honest. Big Boat was the Lil Yachty diss. It wasn't no beef. It wasn't like if I see you, I'm on your head.
But
Lil Yachty mentioned DDG.
Yeah.
It was a reference to another DDG that he knew. Yeah. But in the song,
it was a complete finesse. I was the king of trolling. I don't do that too much now, but it's like I was like, okay, Cause I really thought he said, like somebody hit me up, was like, oh, he said your name in the song. I'm like, oh, that's dope. You know, let me make a little vlog about it. And then he tweeted and said, I don't know who DDG is. I'm like, oh, got you.
He walked right into it.
Yeah, he walked right into it. But in the end, it didn't do nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? We chopped it up in the DMs or whatever. It's no beef or nothing.
Right.
I rock with Lil Yachty.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was too good. I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was gonna blow up. I had to take that opportunity. And at the time, it's all about content. For me, it's summertime. You know, my fans want to see that. So I had to do it.
I felt like at that time, because this was definitely like funny and more so clowning him, right?
Yeah.
I feel, you know, when I hear records like Run It Up or even You Brings Truck now that you got with b.lou, I feel like it's a little more serious. Like, I feel like it was music, but you were still also just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I'm saying?
like
it wasn't like a back-to-back record where it's like I'm trying to make a dope diss record.
Yeah,
You like I'm trying to entertain.
I'm not trying to start no beef. I'm a lovable person, man. You know, I don't beef with nobody, honestly. If somebody say they got beef with me, then they beefing with me by themselves. Because I don't feed into that. I'm all about positivity, getting to where I need to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was all fun and games. Yeah, I didn't make it with the intention like, oh, I hate Yachty. I made it with the intention like my fans gonna love this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they go laugh at this.
It's funny, man. I know some people. My whole thing as an interviewer in this culture, especially sitting down with new artists, right? Like I'm older than you. I'm of a different generation, so it's easy to step back and say, man, that ain't hip hop like how I know it.
Yeah.
And be dismissive. And my whole thing is, I always try to understand.
Yeah.
Like, man, let me just sit down and chop it up with you and see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, you know, I don't know if you ever heard of an artist, hip hop pioneer named KRS-One, one of the early, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s, right? And one of the greatest rappers of all time, and that's how he got on. There was another rapper named MC Shan, and who said, you know, hip hop started out in Queensbridge, or that's what KRS started, and KRS was from the Bronx. He's like, nah, hip hop started in the Bronx. Started a whole beef with MC Shan. It wasn't no real beef. He just went and attacked him, launched a diss record called The Bridge Is Over in South Bronx, and launched one of the greatest careers in hip hop history. Yeah. So I say that to say, you know, kind of what you did with Yachty is a little different, but it ain't that far off. Like like KRS, like you kind of finessed the situation with an artist who was bigger than him. Yeah. And said this was gonna get me in the game. Yeah. So, you know, I say all that to say, you know, that I know with the new generation a lot y'all get like, yo, that ain't hip hop, and might be more hip hop than a lot of the older heads want to admit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like it's a big shift. It's definitely different nowadays. Right. You know, but I feel like you can't really knock it because right now, hip hop is literally the biggest genre. Right. You know what I'm saying? You look at the charts, it's all hip hop. You know, there's pop songs dropping, it's rock songs dropping, but it ain't popping like hip hop. You know
and the ones that are popping and pop and rock, and a lot of it takes cues from hip hop. So like, you know, it's like it's no secret why Taylor Swift wants Kendrick Lamar on Bad Blood, or Katy Perry wants the Migos on her song.
Yeah, you can hear even Ariana Grande. Yeah. It's like it's not even it's kind of shifting over to that. Right. You know, it's getting more grimy, it's getting more hip hoppy and R&B. You know what I'm saying? It's not even pop no more. Right. It's like everybody wants to do hip hop. Right. So I don't see how people can knock today's hip hop when it's literally the biggest now. It's the biggest it ever been. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Like, I think that's dope for us just kind of like share and exchange ideas like that. And you're right, hip hop is as big as it's ever been. And I think that scares a lot of people because, you know, the flip side is that there's a lot of cats from, you know, previous generations, myself included, that there's a fear like we might lose hip hop. Like eventually, you know, you read history books into what happened with rock and roll, where rock and roll actually originated as black music. Yeah. But, you know, if you look back at it now, the face that you think when you think of rock and roll, you think Elvis Presley. Right. Or the Rolling Stones, and you hardly, you know, any black faces get put up there and heralded as rock gods. And man, if that happens with hip hop, man, we're gonna riot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't know, I like it. You know, maybe I'm just young. Right. But I like the way the sound is now. Yeah. And I feel like it's a big difference because now music is stemmed off of social media. You know, if you got a big social media following, you can do music as long as you're good.
Let me ask you a question now, and I'm gonna play devil's, and I want you to help school me
Okay.
on this, man, because, and especially on YouTube, is its own different beast, because there's some people who I can't get with the music,
Yeah.
but it's popular and it gets views. I know, look, man, I know you was down with the time. I don't know if you're still down with Team 10, Jake Paul, all of that, Rice Gum, like that whole thing. That didn't grab me as music, but it went tremendously viral.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? Like, how do you weigh what was real and what we should? Nah, he's really doing it for real, and nah, they're doing it for entertainment, to be viral, to be social.
Yeah, I think that's strict. I think they just did that strictly for entertainment. You know,
Right.
when I look at myself, I'm really doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm really out here. I'm really on these promo runs. I'm really out here trying to make it in the industry. You know what I mean? And I feel like what they was doing, that's completely like, you know, that's just YouTube. Just like I was doing my little diss tracks. You know, they just got a bigger following. It's all kids. You know.
So it was a change. So there's even been a growth within you from your original diss tracks
Yeah.
to where you are now, dropping these singles.
Yeah, when I'm in, it's a whole different vibe, man. I look at music as art. You know, when I'm in the studio, it's not. It's a musical talent rather than me trying to entertain somebody. It's me trying to really put somebody in a position when they listen to me. Like, whether you going through a breakup, whether you feel like you want to fight somebody, whether you want to turn up before the club, I want to put people in that mindset. So I think that's different, you know, rather than just trying to make somebody laugh or entertainment or anything.
So
like
when you
that.
speak like a song like Arguments,
Yeah.
or something like that, could kind of put you in that relationship breakup
Yeah, man.
mode.
That song right there, that song is crazy because it stemmed from like real feelings.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I wrote, when I made that last, and I don't think I told nobody this, but Arguments, when I made a last verse talking about washed up rappers in your DM or whatever, I made a verse before that was supposed to be the last verse, but it was mean. Like I was wigging on her. Because at the time when I'm writing, I'm mad.
Those were your real emotions.
That was my real emotions. But I was like, I can't put this out because then I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look terrible and I don't want to be that bad guy. You know what I mean? So I just scrapped that.
Now she knows there's a whole nother verse.
Yeah. I was mad, bro. Like I was calling her all types of names because I'm getting these feelings out. You know what I mean?
I tell you what though, and this is what we talk about, the growth, right?
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of people would have found that entertaining and ate that up. Like,
Exactly.
Because we already seen when Arguments came out as it was. The first thing that happens, right, is the reaction vlogs.
Yeah.
You know, and people trying to break it down and stuff like that. And if you would have left that verse in, it would have been entertainment for some people, but not necessarily what you wanted to leave in the world as lasting art.
Yeah, I didn't want people to look at me like that, you know. So I scrapped it, and I took a step back, calmed down a little bit, and then I started writing again. And then that's how I came up with that last verse, because it was like, you know, I was really emotional at the time. That's the crazy part. That's why I feel like that's why that song is so big.
Did you record that verse too, or you just wrote it?
Nah. Oh, the mean one?
Yeah.
I don't think I recorded it. I read it over a few times, and I'm like,
delete that out your notes, because she gonna want to see it. She gonna be like, oh, let me see that verse she was talking about.
man.
Burn it, man. I'm telling you.
It's crazy, yeah.
But you know, it's dope. And again, because you could see the progression through your music. You had an EP called Take Me Serious, and an actual track called Take Me Serious. And knowing that you had this line, YouTube 3 years, they don't want to see me blow. They don't really want to hear the flow. That's usually how it go.
Yeah.
And it made me kind of think about what were some of the difficulties and okay, because there's a shift happening with you, right? Like you're like, okay, it was fun before, diss tracks, whatever, we getting these views, we being entertaining. Now I'm really trying to be an artist, and I want the world and I want my fans to see me as an artist. Was it hard for you? Like, what was the difficulties in making that transition?
Because people look at, they watch you for years. It's like, how can I put this? I don't know how to put it, but they felt like they knew me as this goofy, as this corny, or as this chill, you know, whatever they stem me as from watching my videos. So when they see me going for music seriously, they like, he just a little goofball. He just, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I got that feedback a lot, you know, and it was frustrating because I'm like, no, I'm not, you know, I'm really doing this. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm talented. I'm doing it right. I'm not doing this for play. I'm doing this to be the next big thing. I'm doing this to be huge, you know? So it was frustrating reading them comments and people saying, you're just a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, you get the title of YouTube rapper, you know, like currently, and as you're making this transition.
Yeah.
I feel like as this year goes and we start, I feel like that's gonna change.
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Man, it's so beautiful nowadays. Cause like even walking through New York, people stop me. I love your music. That's way that bro. That really I feel that because I'm used to people saying I love your videos, and I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for 4 years. Y'all see me trying to do this. Now people saying I love your music. Like when people say that, I'm like,
You feel the energy.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I rock with you, bro, because this is what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love YouTube, man. I love what I do. And I don't think I would ever stop doing it just because I want my fans to see this journey. But it's like, man, that transition, I want to make it. And I don't want to be looked at as no YouTube rapper because I'm not.
Outside of yourself, and I think part of the difficulty in that, in the world seeing you, is because what we were talking about before is so many artists on YouTube aren't really serious, and it's more entertainment than anything else. So I ask you a question: should we be taking YouTube rappers seriously? Like, should we be taking YouTube artists seriously?
I mean, yeah, if the music is good, if you can tell when somebody's really going for music seriously, you know. Not everybody coming off YouTube is getting signed. Not everybody coming off YouTube is going on tour. Not everybody off YouTube is doing all these different things that established artists do. So if you see somebody doing all these things and they have good music, why not? Think about it. Drake from Degrassi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, look, again, this goes again with me being a little bit older, and it's hard to imagine now, right? That's Drake. I remember I worked at XXL, and this is when So Far Gone, this was maybe his comeback season mixtape. I said, man, we should do something on Drake. And they was like, yo, the kid from Degrassi? Nah. It wasn't his time yet. But what I'm saying is, even for Drake, who is the biggest artist putting up record-breaking numbers right now, when he was making that transition, it was hard, and there was a lot of skepticism and a lot of doors closed in his face until he kicked them down.
Even myself, like the reason I know Drake is from Degrassi. I used to literally watch Degrassi every day before school and after school, eat my cereal and watch Degrassi. And I liked this character. And then my brother hit me up. The first song I heard from Drake was Successful.
Wow.
And then when I heard it, I'm like, oh, all right. The dude from Degrassi, he's wigging like this. And then he put out more music. I'm like, oh, I might be a fan now.
So you caught on right away. You caught on at the right time.
Yeah, I caught on. I'm like, man, and I think about that every time when people look at me as just a YouTube rapper or whatever. It's like, if he can do it and be at the top for 10 years, who says I can't?
Right.
You know?
That's dope. That's dope. That's a dope way to think about it. Who are some other artists that emerged from YouTube? You know, I want to give props to like Justin Bieber. Yeah. If you look back at it, Justin Bieber was discovered doing covers on YouTube, and there's a lot of artists like that. But now I feel like we're in this new generation where credible artists are really emerging from the platform. Who are some of the ones that you like? I see you tweet Queen Naja all the time. Congratulations. She just had a baby boy. But I know you and Naja have a relationship, right?
Yeah, Queen my homie. And she's from Michigan too. So we both basically coming from the same place, doing the same thing, straight off YouTube, building this funny, making all this fan base, making all this money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we got the same story. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of other people like my homie b.lou, Armand and Trey. It's a lot of artists coming off of, or doing YouTube, or you know, intertwining both careers, and is actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man.
You mentioned b.lou. I know you guys are going back and forth about who's the better rapper.
Yeah.
And we knew it was jokes. Like I think from the outside looking in, you'd be like, yo, is they really beefing? But those that are in tune to you and his fan base and what you guys do knew it was jokes. But you guys just dropped the video for Brink's Truck.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Who's the better rapper? Who had the better verse on Bring Struck?
I mean, I never wanted. B.lou he's my homie. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's my dog. And it was never competition.
Right.
You know, we was just trying to get the fans a bunch of entertainment and stuff like that. But me and B.lou, we bounce off each other perfectly in the studio, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when we make songs together, it just come out like it's natural, you know? But better rapper, of course I'm gonna say myself.
Okay,
You
I
know
was
what
gonna
I'm
say you're
saying?
not in the studio. I know that's my man, but
Yeah,
I'm
that's my
trying to
homie,
go
but
to.
you know, I'm not gonna say, B.lou better than me. Nah, yeah, I gotta be great, you know. But yeah, that's my homie, man. We got a lot of songs together.
That's funny. Run It Up.
Yes.
Again, featuring Nahmir, featuring Herbo, featuring Blac Youngsta. You know, we actually played. I also have a radio show on Hip Hop Nation on Sirius called The Rob Report over the weekends, and we've been playing that record in rotation. And I wanted to know, was there a difference? Like the video, first of all, it just feels like another level since joining Epic. Like, in going onto a major and actually signing your deal, has there been a difference with the way you're producing music, shooting videos, rolling it out?
Yeah, I mean, I still got, you know, I got my own input. I still do it my way, but you know, for Run It Up, that was next level. You know, big staffs, you know, big cameras. You
Have
know,
like craft services.
yeah. I gotta be a trailer to the back. I got you know, somebody dressing me, tying my shoes for me. I'm like, oh, I like this. This
I
is
get
next
used to
level.
this.
Yeah, this is next level. So I feel being with Epic, because Epic really, they rock with me.
Right.
And that, because I hear so many stories about a lot of artists that they sign to these big labels and they get no love. They get put on the back burner. And it's not like that with me. I don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. It's just lit. I feel it. I feel like an artist, you know? They make me feel more of an artist. And that's why I don't regret nothing.
You ain't had the urge to just edit the Run It Up video yourself? Like, nah, move
Nah,
over.
I edited, matter of fact, I edit all my video, like my little diss tracks or whatever.
Right.
But I edit Lettuce with Famous Dex.
Famous Dex,
I
yeah.
edit that myself. But now Running Up was lit. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Cause I'm thinking, cause I done did a big production video before and it wasn't what I wanted. I'm like, okay, I need to get somebody off the streets or somebody that's running gun with the little, what you call it, DJI Ronin or whatever. And they just edit and get the video next day, you know. But Running Up, that was fire. That came out perfectly to me.
That's dope.
I loved it.
Congratulations. I want to ask you something. I saw an interview you did with DJ Smalls.
Yeah.
Where you had mentioned that you own your own masters.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
That's amazing.
Man.
Not every artist gets to do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how you went about negotiating that, and if actually, like, doing the YouTube business on YouTube and you know, making 5 to 6 figures a month.
Mm-hmm.
Did that prepare you business-wise to be able to negotiate better?
Yeah, because I wasn't nowhere near hurting for money. So it's like, if I'm gonna sign this deal, I'm gonna get the best deal because I know I'm gonna be great. You know what I mean? I know I'm gonna be a huge artist, so I need my masters because I got what I need. You know, ain't nobody independently, you know, I'm hitting 25 million views on an R&B record and I never took a singing class in my life. You know, it's something there. You know what I mean? I got this. I don't need a label. You know what I mean? So, but I know at some point you need a major to get to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things you can't do by yourself. So, it just made sense.
Right.
Made sense.
That's dope though. No, I was impressed because, you know, we see things like, I just saw Blueface recently did an interview with Charlemagne and he wasn't quite sure how his deal was structured and labels. And that's a lot of young artists. It's not even a knock to him. A lot of artists come in and you don't know the business and don't know where the chips lie. So, you know, in the same week, seeing Blueface say that, and then I'm watching your DJ Small interviews and you're like, oh, I own my masters. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's good to see young artists get it. A lot of artists kind of come into the game and have to learn the business and correct the course maybe 3, 4, 5 albums into their career.
Yeah.
And you seem to be off to a great start.
Yeah, it's like it can get frustrating, man. Like you see people like Uzi, you know, that's all wrapped up in his deal. And you get so big to a point where you start realizing you're worth more than what they signed you for. Right. Or you're worth more than the deal that you got. You know? So that's what people mess up at. Like this money, okay, you need money, but at the end of the day, it's a loan. You know, you don't need that. You have to make it back regardless. You know, it's really just a loan and you got to recoup. So itching for that signing bonus is not even a signing bonus, advance. Right. Itching for that is not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Go make your money somewhere else and then get that master, get that deal that you want, own your stuff. Because that's really going to put the money in your pocket if you really believe in yourself as an artist.
That's dope. How old are you, brother?
21.
21. I say this, I hope this video goes just as viral, not for my own selfish reasons, but just as viral as the Blueface one. Because again, we kind of see what happens when an artist is learning on the go. Yeah. And there's somebody like yourself who has a much clearer and stronger grasp. And, you know, I bet you there's some artists watching this now that you just got through to him. He's on the come up 15, 16 years old. So by the time he gets to those deals, he knows what to start looking for.
Know I need to own my masters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure DDG told you. You know,
and that also means that's not asking for your masters. You negotiate that. You get what you negotiate. Yeah, that means putting the work in beforehand to be able to come to the table and ask for or demand these sort of things and negotiate these sort of things.
Yeah, man. That's super duper important.
Dope. Super important. What's next for you? So Run It Up is out now. Bring Strucks is the new video with you and b.lou. Mm-hmm. b.lou's crazy, man. Shout out to b.lou. They've done about 2 or 3 videos on Genius as well. Love those guys. What's next for you?
Man, Run It Up on the radio. Mm-hmm. Go on the radio with it, man. It's getting spinned everywhere. Got radio promo going on, hitting state to state. Just getting my face out there. Mm-hmm. Got a project dropping soon. Can't tell the date. I got a song with Queen Naija coming out. Ooh. That's gonna be huge, you know? And it's something that I'm really taking care of because I know it's gonna be huge, you know? And it's just a bunch of music, man. I'm finna be great. Yeah. I'm finna be great. 2019 is my year, bro. I'm telling everybody.
You can't tell them no different. You see the confidence? Like, I can't, like, how you dispute that? Like, look at it.
Can't, bro.
You just know it. So we end this every show. We ask every guest here that sits in that seat.
Okay.
I want to know if you could rap a verse, not your own, something that you're a fan of. If you go word for word with a verse, what would it be?
Freestyle, Little Baby. I know that song hard.
That's a great record. You see the confidence, the unwavering?
But the reason I like that verse is because it's bam, 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 bam. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just straightforward. And you, give me a line, I got it. Or should I just start it off?
Just start. I forget how it goes. So my brother, you school me.
Okay, it go like this. Hold on. You ready? Shout out my label, that's me. I'm in this vision TB. I with this vision 4J. I just pulled up me at 8th. Real niggas all in my face. 500 racks in my safe. 500 racks to the plug. What you know about pulling up? What you know about pulling up in Billy trucks? Make these bitches fall in love. I know what I'm back.
DDG, but you good. That was dope, bro. Look, you got further than I can. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
yeah, that's on fire.
You know, off the top, it sound a lot easier. Everybody in the comments like, oh, I could have done that. It
if you got if you ain't got the beat, like the beat, you know what I'm saying. But acapella, it's a little, you know.
It's tough, and plus he ain't know about it. We just threw him in the hot seat. That was dope, man. I appreciate it. DDG, man, I wish you a lot of luck, man. Like I said, I was looking forward to this interview to be able to sit down with you one-on-one just to see what you was about, just to, you know, get that understanding and see where you were coming from, because hip-hop is changing, hip-hop is evolving, and new rules are being made as we go along. And I think you're one of those guys that are making the new rules that the next generation are going to have a path to follow, man. So I salute you for that.
Appreciate it, bro. I love Genius once again, man.
Nah, come back, man. We got to do more stuff, man.
100. Got you.
Peace. And thank y'all for watching. You know, check us out next week for the record. Peace.